Boruto might end up on a darker path than Itachi, and the aftermath of this event is pretty mind-blowing. The way Boruto was framed by Kawaki in chapter 80, it seems like he will be living the most tragic life in shinobi history. So will he be able to beat this twist of fate, or would he end up dying by the hands of his sibling? Let's find out. The allegations that Boruto has been facing since the omnipotence twist has made him lose his smile in the time skip. While Momoshiki couldn't deprive Boruto from the will of fire, he was right about the doom that he's facing in the future. The whole shinobi world is after his life, and even though he has Otsutsuki powers and a supportive mentor, the possibility for an individual like him to stay hidden from the eyes of the world is way too low. Sasuke could be trying to help him in gaining his original reality back, but according to Momoshiki, that's near to impossible. Even by killing the person who triggered the omnipotence, reversing its effects is an undoable task. So Boruto might need to enter the domain of gods himself to fix the faults of his fate. But the circumstances that will lead him there will be really dark and will slowly diminish his optimistic charisma. Boruto in the time skip has become a prime example of Madara's notable quote, where he says when a man learns to love, he must bear the risk of hatred. Love and hatred are apparently a core part of Boruto's plot. Every character that we have seen so far has done vicious things for the sake of love, like Kawaki crossing limits for the desire to protect Naruto, whom he loves more than his own life. Either ended up manifesting Kawaki's desires since she loves him more than anyone else. Daemon became the knight of her beloved sister, which ended up in him becoming the most overpowered character. And Amado formulated the most epic plan to not only destroy an Otsutsuki but also replicate his karma. All of it was done for the sake of his dead daughter, who meant the world to him. Even Sarada's Mangenkyo awakened the strong feelings that she held for Boruto, which apparently means she has broken the cycle of hatred. However, in Boruto's case, even though he still thinks he can fix Kawaki, he ends up falling into the trap of hatred that has been dealt by many characters before. And the one whose destiny resembles with Boruto the most in this case is Itachi Uchiha. While Itachi was accused of mercilessly killing the whole clan for selfish intent, no one was able to figure out the reality behind his actions until very later in the story. Boruto might run down a similar path as him, which made me think that there might be some more similarities in their fates. One possible connection which interests me the most is the possibility of Himawari going against her own brother without even realizing that he is her brother. While Sasuke wanted to take Itachi down all his life, he recognized him as a psycho sibling from the very beginning. The only thing that would be different in Boruto's case would be the viewpoint of Himawari towards him. The daughter of Naruto sees Boruto as an outsider who killed both her parents. Considering the fact that she holds a hidden power that even knocked out Kurama, Boruto would certainly be playing a deadly emotional battle against his own sister. Right now, Himawari is under the influence of Kawaki, which means he could brainwash her against Boruto, or I should say against Otsutsukis in general. She could play a vital role in the conflict between the brothers, as Boruto won't be able to lay a finger on her, and Kawaki knows this. So will Himawari be the reason for Boruto's ultimate death in the series? Well, it's not uncommon for main characters to die during the climax of their own show, and the unpredictability of the series might take us down a similar lane. But before discussing that possibility, let's figure out how Himawari might actually side with Boruto for some valid reasons. The very first thing which makes me believe Himawari could side with Boruto is the possibility of her being immune to omnipotence. However, the reason might be completely different from Sumire and Sarada's immunity. Himawari could have been gifted with Otsutsuki genes, since both of her parents possess the chakra of Hogoromo and Hamura. Even Momoshiki had told Boruto before possessing him that he holds a huge amount of his clan's power. The case might be no different for Himawari, since she is his biological sibling. The reason this possibility is a bit unlikely is because it would make her life really chaotic, since she won't be able to digest the new reality. However, the thing which hints at Himawari siding with Boruto, even after getting affected by omnipotence, has something to do with her relationship with Kawaki. We know when Kawaki was first introduced, he accidentally broke a vase which belonged to Himawari. Later, he tried his best to fix that vase, as Himawari shared some sentimental value with it. This led to an unusual bond between the two, which many assumed was a foreshadowing for the future. Kawaki knows how he needs to treat and care for Himawari as a sibling. After all, she is the daughter of the person for whom he has crossed all limits. If you notice back in chapter 80, Boruto did not even mention his sister, who is totally helpless in the village at present. This could be because he believes in his brother Kawaki and knows for a fact that he will protect and look after Himawari behind his back. The reason I believe the vase incident hints at Himawari understanding Boruto is because the reality has now been shifted, so all the feelings and memories that she had for Boruto now belong to Kawaki and vice versa. This means there is a slight chance for Himawari to figure something out about Boruto that will save a huge conflict from happening. The shattered vase theory in psychology is used to explain how people react to traumatic situations. The fact that Boruto had broken and fixed Himawari's vase in her version of reality, it's very likely that she would figure out the reason of his trauma and possibly the inconsistencies in the new reality as well. One of the easiest and simplest ways for Himawari to find out the truth could be by looking at her family pictures, which lack Kawaki. Maybe she would end up seeing some photos from the past that would make her question her own memory. All of it might lead to Himawari siding with Boruto, which makes her his sister by fate, if not by reality. So whether the trigger to Himawari's resolve is either the family photos or some other thing, we shouldn't forget that Sarada and Sumire will be concerned for her as well. Last time I talked about a theory explaining how Sarada might have used a special ability to persuade Sasuke in making her wish come true. If there is actually such power possessed by Sarada, then she could manipulate Himawari as well. All of these are pretty plausible theories, which could help us to figure out the future role of Himawari in Boruto's life. But before diving into the possibility of Hima becoming an ambitious Avenger who would decide to track Boruto down, let's take a look at another theory which talks about the possibility of Himawari betraying Kawaki for a mind-blowing reason. Back in the anime, Himawari does not remember how and when she knocked down Naruto. The hit was so disastrous that it even harmed Kurama, which is totally not normal. Not only that, when Himawari gets rid of her Otsutsuki Byakugan, it looks way too similar to Momoshiki leaving the possession of Boruto's body. We know the story of Ishiki and Kaguya and how the Otsutsuki was mercilessly betrayed by his pair. And since Kawaki is the vessel of Ishiki, it could be that destiny will be repeated and he will be betrayed by the reincarnation of Kaguya, which is Himawari. This explains her horrendous power and bone-chilling prowess, which even shocked the most broken character of the series. Maybe both Boruto and Himawari were born with Kaguya's essence, but Boruto lost that spirit after Momoshiki took him over. In other words, Himawari is what Boruto could have been without Momoshiki, but the peak writing of Kishimoto that will bring forth the destiny of Ishiki and Kaguya in human form pretty much explains why Boruto was made to lose that essence. If we go by this theory, then chances are Himawari will be immune from omnipotence and would act like she's obedient to Kawaki and his decisions. However, when the right time comes, she will betray Kawaki in the most brutal way possible, explaining the foreshadowing of the broken vase. Moving on to the final theory, is there any chance for Boruto to face death by the hands of, or I should say in front of Himawari? Well, the way Boruto lost everything is kinda different than how Itachi ended up losing it all. Itachi knew what he was doing, as well as its consequences, while Boruto had no idea that things will mess up so much. He must have never imagined that his whole reality will replace with Kawaki. Boruto still thinks he will be able to get over everything, or maybe this mindset is the only thing that will keep Momoshiki at bay. That's why he reacted differently than what Momoshiki had expected. Boruto will lose his charisma, and the main reason behind this could be the passing of a close one. I'm talking about Sasuke and how his death could be just around the corner. If a character like Sasuke dies by the hands of Boruto, or I should say if Boruto gets accused of killing a prominent shinobi like Sasuke, it could make Himawari believe that he's definitely the one who's behind the killing of her parents. Kawaki might have figured out this possibility, and that's why he might end up killing Sasuke, as shown in the missing scene from the Glimpse of Future. He would then blame the death of Sasuke on Boruto. That would make his life extremely dark and difficult. So if Sasuke ends up dying, Boruto would take his stuff as memento, and Himawari will get another reason to kill him. But Boruto having the special Otsutsuki eye, the Jogan, could unveil Himawari's true Otsutsuki prowess to him. The reason I think this way is because Daemon 2 has the genes of Shibai, the Otsutsuki god, which explains how he was able to identify Himawari as a horrific danger. Talking about how Boruto will be able to convince Himawari, you'll need to go back to chapter 79, where Momoshiki said the consciousness of every human being is connected with chakra. So by manipulating chakra, a person's memories and feelings can be changed as well. But that's only doable for an Otsutsuki god or someone who holds their powers. So considering Daemon has the power of identifying the Otsutsuki chakra, it could be that Jogan might be able to manipulate a person's chakra for fulfilling a certain purpose. For Boruto, it could be to unveil the facts to Himawari in order to prove his innocence. This yet another time highlights the possibility of Himawari betraying Kawaki. Anyway, another thing that I noticed about the time skip scene is that the disappearance of all the shinobis could have something to do with Kawaki trapping Boruto. Maybe Kawaki gets too comfortable in his new reality and does not want Boruto to reawaken everyone's true memories with the Jogan. That's why he has sent all the chakra wielders, also known as shinobis, to another realm. He might bring them back after sealing Boruto, who has become a hurdle in his goals and ambitions. Subscribe for a full video on this theory. There is even a possibility for Boruto getting a superpower of the Omni mode, and you can find out more about it in this video. I will see you next time.